The Breath of the Wild era of Zelda is the gift that keeps giving for lore enthusiasts and mystery hunters alike. Since its release in 2017, Breath of the Wild has continued to challenge the Zelda's community ability to dive deep into lore tidbits and piece together clues to solve Hyrule secrets. And for 8 years, there's been one mystery that has remained unsolved. In fact, we've only been able to speculate without any definitive proof, with fuel being added to the fire in Tears of the Kingdom in 2023 and then again in 2025 with the release of the Zelda Notes app alongside the launch of the Switch 2. But with the release of Age of Imprisonment last week, I spotted a throwaway moment in an early cutscene that you may have missed, which answers a question we didn't know we were asking. What is the deal with the ancient tree stump in Hyrule? Welcome back to the Zelda Realm YouTube channel. My name is Joe, and if you're new here, please be sure to subscribe to the channel so you never miss an upload. And if you're enjoying this, could I ask you to please leave a like and a hype so we can get this out to as many people as possible. It really does help me out so much. But without any further ado, let's get into today's video. Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment released just 5 days ago, and so far, I'm really honestly delighted to say that I'm having a ton of fun with the latest installment in the Hyrule Warriors franchise. My early thoughts really are that the combat is super slick and much more engaging, and the story so far feels rich with detail and curated with love and respect I feel were slightly missing from Age of Calamity. This feels like a deep story set in the world of Zelda, which for me is adding to and enriching Tears of the Kingdom in a way that I never felt could be possible. That is largely in part due to the storytelling from Age of Imprisonment's many cutscenes, a feature that I feel has brought The Legend of Zelda in line with the best modern stories in video games, and that I hope could become a mainstay of the Zelda franchise. Not only does this help to deliver a richer story, but it gives Age of Imprisonment's many new characters a real sense of personality, and as the player, it enables me to form more of a connection with these new faces. Prior to Age of Imprisonment's launch, there was a lot of speculation about two characters in particular. One was the mysterious Construct, a construct who looks a lot like Link, plays like Link, and turns into a jet plane like Link. I mean, can turn into a jet plane. Are you seeing this? I am playing Star Fox in the year of 2025. I mean, this is like one of the most hyped things I have played this year. The other character that was being teased was of our newest Korok friend, Calamu. Calamo?
Calamity Ganon.
In official material before the launch of the game, Calamu was given the following description. Meet Calamu, a boisterous Korok roaming Hyrule in search of a place to put down roots. Well, naturally, of course, this caused the Zelda community to start immediately speculating. Could Calamu really be the great Deku Tree? I mean, it could make sense if he was accompanying the construct that isn't Link but is definitely Link. Something almost poetic about the idea of this in many ways. However, like any good problem, there are often other solutions, and while this might not be as exciting as Calamu being the Great Deku Tree, I actually think this storyline is pretty sweet and has been pulled off well by those developing this game. First off, let me present to you Exhibit A. The following is a cutscene that plays out after our first mission playing as Calamu and the mysterious construct.
Why did you save us?
I've been wondering the same thing myself. But my bud here's got a mind of his own. Couldn't stop him if I tried. And trust me, I did.
Even so, I thank you. As long as I draw breath, I can still claim my retribution.
You want revenge, huh? Don't you think a little reward for your daring savior should come first? And since we went through the trouble of saving your lives, it's gotta be something special. Something like this! Ha-ha! Even the fiercest winds don't feel like nothing at all with this bad boy. What do you say?
Yes, if you'd like it. But what will you use it for?
Isn't it obvious? This thing's gonna keep me standing once I finally take root. Here's the deal. When a Korok like me leaves home, we've gotta find a spot to settle down so we can grow big and tall. Start our own forest, you know? And once I find my spot, my new treasure here will keep me in place. Make sure I've got the strongest branches this side of Hyrule. That's the whole reason I'm on this journey. You got that?
On first watch, there's really not that much revealing about this scene. In fact, it feels like a light-hearted comment from one of Age of Imprisonment's wittiest characters, but it jogged a memory of mine that came from something Zelda says in her notes for Tears of the Kingdom.
Nations discovered a single ancient spear within this decaying tree trunk. It has stirred up spirited discussion among many researchers, but little additional information has been revealed, despite their piqued interest.
I think it's therefore safe to say that the ancient tree stump found in both Breath of the Wild, which by the way was also of significance to Zelda at the time, and Tears of the Kingdom was once Calamu, and this is where he put down roots. Not only that, but this tree would have been significant in size. As you can see here, the network of roots goes far beyond what we can see on the surface, with many different rooms and caverns to be found within the stump itself. And to show the real scope of the stump, I went to where the fierce daily boots are found and used a send to see where I was. And here is where I ended up. I also went back to Breath of the Wild to see if there was anything of interest around the stump itself, but it had become a bokoblin and moblin camp. Zelda Notes does provide more context to it, with Zelda saying the following.
In Hyrule, there are a number of large decaying trees that are likely over 1,000 years old, not unlike this tree stump. There is a legend about this tree in particular that says it was inhabited by a dignitary spirit. I too sense something important from this tree.
This discovery does make me wonder if there are more elements of the Zelda Notes app that have been written to bring light to the Age of Imprisonment story and tie all the games together. We know that Age of Imprisonment likely marks the end of the Wild Era and the most detailed version of Hyrule we may ever see, and so I wouldn't be surprised if Aonuma and co wanted to ensure that some loose ends were closed off and give fans some payoff after 8 years of living and breathing this world. So while Calamu is not the Great Deku Tree, I do think it's cool that we have seen a version of him since 2017, and it's small details like this that have really made me appreciate what Age of Imprisonment is trying to be. As far as I'm concerned, if you're sitting on the fence for this one and aren't sure, I'd 100% recommend picking this game up and experiencing it for yourself, especially if you're a fan of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Maybe this gives you a newfound appreciation for the level of detail in the world of Hyrule. Either way, I think we can all agree that Calamu would be proud of the tree he eventually became. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you've enjoyed it, could I please ask you to like this video and leave a comment down below. And if you're playing Age of Imprisonment right now, let me know in the comments your thoughts. I've played about the first, I'm going to say 10 to 12 hours, and I'm having a really great time. So I'm going to lock myself away now. I'm going to keep playing this game because the combat has me hooked, I do think 60 frames makes a massive difference for a game like this, and I will be doing a full review of the game in December as part of my Advent Calendar series coming your way. But until then, I'm going to go away again. I'm going to kill more enemies. I'm going to be Calamu more and appreciate that he's actually just a tree stump. And I will see you all very, very soon.